Once upon a time, we were all told a beautiful fairy tale. It was the story of the three little pigs, but perfectly adapted for the American middle class. We were told that if you worked hard for 40 years, paid your taxes, and built your financial house out of bricks, the big bad wolf of poverty could never blow it down. We were lied to. The bricks are crumbling, and the wolf is already inside the house.
We did everything exactly the way they said we should. I worked my whole life in construction. I put money away. We weren't wealthy, but we were secure. Then Julia, my wife, she got sick. The out-of-pocket costs for her cancer treatments, nobody warns you. It just inhaled our savings in a matter of months. Then the 2008 housing crash hit, and our home lost nearly half its value overnight. We tried to hold on, but there is no retirement for us. There's only survival.
We spend 20% of our total income just on health insurance because our daughter, Cece, has a congenital heart defect. I mean, we played by all the rules. You know, we budgeted, we even sacrificed. But our house went $150,000 underwater after the crash. We can't get out. At this point, we can't imagine ever being able to retire, let alone leave anything for our kids.
Bob, Julia, Debbie, and Aaron aren't the exceptions. They are the terrifying new rule facing millions of Americans right now. Tonight, we investigate what economists call the collapse of the three-legged stool of American retirement. We are going to unearth how the systems built to protect us have been systematically dismantled, leaving the American middle class completely exposed to catastrophic failure. We are diving deep into the math behind this crisis. If you are finding this documentary valuable and you want to continue uncovering the truth about our financial systems, please hit the like button right now and subscribe to the Wealthvids YouTube channel. We rely on viewers like you to expose these stories. Now, let's look at the evidence. For generations, American workers relied on this exact structural model. It's the three-legged stool. Leg 1, Social Security. Leg 2, an employer pension. Leg 3, personal savings. With that said, let's take a look at the hard evidence for Leg 1.
Social Security is operating on entirely broken demographic math. When the New Deal created it, it was meant to be a safety net of last resort, a backstop to prevent extreme elderly poverty. It was never designed to be your primary income source. Today, we have massive populations of baby boomers retiring, people are living 20 years longer, and fewer children are being born to fund them. If Washington doesn't change the law by 2033, the system will mathematically only be able to physically pay 77 cents on the dollar.
Let that terrifying fact sink in. A guaranteed 23% pay cut to seniors who are already struggling to buy groceries. The first leg is completely broken. But what about the second leg? The guaranteed company or municipal pension.
The promises looked amazing on paper, but the math they used was a complete fantasy. Municipalities promised massive pensions and generous healthcare packages based on overly optimistic Wall Street investment returns. When the market crashed, those returns evaporated overnight. Now, cities like Stockton are entirely bankrupt. We've had to slash critical police and fire services just to survive and pay those obligations. The math doesn't lie.
And as guaranteed private and public pensions quietly vanished over the last few decades, corporate America offered a bold new solution, the 401k, the ultimate do-it-yourself retirement plan that silently shifted every ounce of financial risk directly onto the employee.
I make about $23,000 a year playing the cello. It demands absolutely everything from my physical body. As a musician, the only solace I had was my union pension. It was supposed to be safe. Then I opened my mail and got a letter stating that the plan lost 40% of its value. It's in critical status. Half the workforce doesn't even have access to a 401k. For the rest of us without financial degrees, we are suddenly forced to become Wall Street day traders just to guarantee we don't starve when we turn 70. Who has time to do that when you're working 3 jobs?
Which brings us to the final shattered leg of the stool: personal savings. Between fundamentally stagnant wages over the last 30 years, the astronomical, crushing costs of healthcare, and the utter devastation of home equity from the housing market, the American saving rate hasn't just slipped. It has plummeted from an average of 15% all the way down to a shocking 1%. When a system completely and utterly fails, human beings seek out their own solutions. The Beardsleys finally experience a painful epiphany. The government cavalry wasn't coming to save them. Wall Street wasn't going to save them. The fairy tale ending was dead. So instead of waiting for a rescue, they completely abandoned the old plan.
We pooled every resource we had left. We moved multiple generations under one single roof to cut costs. There's no pride standing in the way anymore. And Julia and I, we decided we're just going to have to work until we physically can't stand up anymore. That's the new plan.
The old rules are dead. If you continue to play by them, you are mathematically guaranteeing your own failure. We absolutely cannot rely on a broken 3-legged stool anymore. You have to architect a completely new game plan. Economists have already laid out the blueprints for a massive systemic fix. Auto IRAs to forcibly boost enrollment, raising the tax cap so the ultra-wealthy fund Social Security year-round, completely shifting our national culture from hyper-consumption back to radical, aggressive saving. I want you to really think about what happens if we ignore this. What if we do nothing? You are looking at a future where 72-year-old grandmothers are perpetually stocking heavy boxes on shelves in minimum wage jobs just to afford to turn on the heat in the winter. We are looking at the complete, total erosion of the American middle class. But what if we finally stop kicking the can down the road? What if we demand that our politicians fix the structural math before the bomb detonates? What if you take radical, aggressive control of your own financial destiny today? The warning bells have already rung. The crisis isn't looming. It's right here.